All right, mid-July here in Phoenix. I've got 112 reading on the car, and supposed to be about 115 for the high today. And let's not sugarcoat it. It's hot, it's brutal. That's not just me talking. I was looking at some of the news articles this week, and some of the ways they were describing it were like dangerous, misery, hell on earth. You name it, that's what's being described of what's going on with the current weather situation. We're having a heat wave here in Phoenix. It sounds like it's going in a lot of other places in the US as well. We're gonna be setting some records this year when it comes to the heat during the summer, especially days of 110 plus, and we're right in the middle of it right now. But this video is not going to be about the weather specifically as much as how the weather might affect the housing market. And I really wanted to kind of touch base on that because we've seen seasonal patterns in the past where once it starts getting hot, especially in these type of situations, a lot of the buyers just go away. But that is slightly different this year based on what we're seeing right now. So we're going to talk about that. I've got a listing that I'm going to show you a little bit. I've got some good friends of ours that are selling their house. I'm going to take you on a little bit of tour of that because they're doing an open house today. We're going to go on a little bit of tour, and we're just going to kind of talk through what's going on as far as buyer activity and traffic to give you a heads up if you're looking to move out here, number one, if you're looking to make a purchase. So let's get into it. It's going to be hot, and if you think that might be helpful, stay tuned. All right, so the house we're at today is at 7551 East Weathersfield Road in Scottsdale. We are right near Scottsdale and Cactus, and this is a really, really great property. I wanted to share it with you guys as we kind of talk through this whole situation regarding the market. But let me give you a few details of it. We'll kind of tour you through, and then we'll kind of talk to you about what's going on in general, even with all of this extreme heat. So this house has a main house that is just under 3,000 square foot. It's a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. This was just redone. The interior was fully gutted within the past 2 years, and the owner did an amazing job of kind of redesigning it and bringing it up to date. So we're going to take you through it. I think the property is priced at $2.1 million right now, and I want to share kind of the reasons why that is. I think it's because of the lot size here. This is almost an acre, and then you got the casita and the main house that's been fully remodeled. So it's had a lot of interest because of that reason, but I want to share that with you because even with the higher price points, there is a lot of traffic going on right now. So why don't we just take a quick spin through? I'll show you some of the details, and then we'll kind of talk about what's going on with traffic. All right, so it's quiet right now. I just saw a couple people leave. So I'm gonna go in, we're gonna talk to Danny and Brooke that are holding this house open right now, kind of pick their brain a little bit on what activity they're seeing so far and give you guys a kind of a heads up on what is happening even with this heat. All right, so we're walking in right now. We'll say hello. Danny, say hello. Hello. Brooke, say hello. So, you know, what I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about is like what kind of traffic we're seeing. So what are you guys seeing so far? Not only, you know, Danny, you were here last weekend, so what are you seeing traffic-wise last weekend and this weekend?
Yeah, it's been really busy. We're going through the water over here like crazy. So last weekend we had a good amount of people through. Second weekends usually are a little slower, but we've been busy since we started at noon today. Really a lot of buyers out, and
yeah, and what we're doing, noon to 3 today?
Noon to 3 today, yeah.
So it's hot.
Yeah. Yeah, and last week we were supposed to close down at 3 and ended up going an hour later because we still had people pouring in, which was awesome. That's amazing. Yeah.
What is the feedback? Because like when I was here last week, we had a lot of people talking about like how long they've been waiting. Are you hearing about that a lot too?
Waiting to find the right house.
Yeah, they've been waiting for a year to buy, that type of thing.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were holding off a little bit, but they're seeing here that the prices are just continuing to go up. And they'd rather get in the game at this point. So I feel like we're seeing an uptick in buyer interest and they're ready to jump in.
As we tour around, I do want to kind of showcase the house a little bit, talk about some of the positives. Again, these are good friends of ours that are listing their house, and you might be the right person for it. So let's talk about it a little bit. Danny and Brooke, tell us about some of the favorite things, not only that you guys have seen, but people are focusing on.
Well, I think one of my favorite things, and one thing I've noticed people have been enjoying, is this kitchen. It's a beautiful granite countertops. It's open. That open floor plan is really important too, especially, you know, with families, right? You have the great room. So when one person's in the kitchen cooking, you're still involved in everything. So it doesn't, I love that this is very open, and there's it's a very wide area for cooking. And then just, you know, the layout, the colors, they did such a good job. It's just very beautiful. These windows open so that when you're sitting out there, you can start sliding food out there, which is a really cool
Yeah, we talk about this a lot, to us, the ability to kind of open this up,
Yeah.
have the view out to the backyard, and just kind of, you know, serve some cocktails out there, have a little happy hour action, even have dinner, that type of thing.
Yeah, definitely a very unique feature in a kitchen.
Another thing that's been huge for people is obviously the size of the backyard. Let's go take a tour of it. Danny, you want to kind of tour us around a little bit, or kind of talk about some of the things that you like?
So these doors fully open are accordion doors, and so that side does as well. We'd have it fully open for the open house if it weren't for how hot it is outside.
Doing this at 115, probably not smart, but when it's nice out the rest of the year, it's great.
Absolutely. And so this is a nice shaded area here. So the whole span of the house, you have covered area to be in, which is so nice. And then the pool has been completely redone as well. So everyone is loving the pool. They completely redid it. It's Pebble Tech. They added the Bermuda shelf here. It goes from 3 to 6 feet. And then they also have the pool decking, which helps a little bit to keep things cool in this area here.
I would like to jump in right now myself.
Me too.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so then coming through here, you have your area here for the kids. You have a mix of turf and real grass, so you get both. And then you also have 13 palm trees. So if anyone buys this house, we will find them a great palm tree trimmer to help out.
And it's nice to have all of the trees in back, just a little bit extra, just protection and shade, and it just looks nicer in general.
Yeah, you feel like you're in Arizona with all the palm trees. So it's your own private oasis back here.
And then we're walking into the casita right now.
And everyone's been really impressed with the size of the casita. So we're at 1050 square feet. You have a full kitchen, 2 bedrooms, and 1 bathroom. It's a very livable space. I know the owners had to spend some time in here while the remodeling was getting done, so they can speak to how livable it is and comfortable. Yeah, it's rare to see 2 bedrooms in a casita. You just don't see this kind of size. And so to have this kind of extra room back here, they have it set up for their office space. So to have the 2 room set up. So for anybody that works remotely, it's huge to be able to have like a space that you can come into and just get away for work purposes, that type of thing. Yeah, absolutely. I've had people say that they maybe want to make it a gym, guest quarters, all sorts of ideas people have for the space. And the great thing is there's no HOA with this property, so anything you want to do out in this yard, you can do. Yeah, awesome. All right, let's bring Danny and Brooke back in again, because I think there's a lot of info that they can share that might be helpful for anybody who's looking to make the move out here. So as you guys are kind of sitting through here, Danny, you're from California, and Brooke, you're from Vegas, but you've lived in California as well. So you're coming from some different areas. So what would you guys tell people what to expect when it comes to, number one, the heat out here right now? I'll let you go first.
So it's definitely an adjustment, right? I was born and raised in Las Vegas. I lived there for 30 years. So I understood the weather, but once you leave, you kind of forget it, right? Yeah. So I lived in Orange County for 5 years. I mean, Orange County is gorgeous. You have like the most beautiful weather. There is a marine layer that sometimes lasts a long time, so it can be a little gloomy, but otherwise it's beautiful. And then moving back here, being here for the last 2.5 years, it's been a little tough. Just yeah, just being in this heat and not, for me, I'm such an outdoor person. I like to be outside. I like to be doing outside activities. I have a dog that I like to take out multiple times a day, and it does make it hard. You know, if you have animals, you have to go super early in the morning, and then, you know, you're kind of trapped inside for a while during this time. Otherwise, I mean, the rest of the year, it is beautiful. It is a great location. It's cost effective. So there's a ton of pluses.
Yeah.
I think it just depends on what you're looking for, you know, with you personally, with your family, if you like adventure. So it's ultimately it's all about perspective.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Danny? What's your experience been so far?
Yeah, so we were in Pacific Palisades and Newport, so also Orange County for a little bit. And I just couldn't wait to get back to Arizona.
Yeah.
I feel like it's easy living here, especially living in Pacific Palisades. Nothing was close or convenient. You kind of felt like you were in an island, like that Palisades Malibu area. It's one way in, one way out on the PCH, it feels like. So I love that everywhere here has parking lots, and you don't have to go into a parking structure to go to Target. So I just feel like it's really easy living to get around, and then cost effective, like Brooke said.
Mm-hmm.
This is so expensive living there.
Is there anything about like living here so far that you'd warn people about besides the heat?
I'm trying to be as real as I can. There is something that bores me about Arizona.
Yeah.
And I had the same feeling when I lived, you know, in Las Vegas. There's just, I don't know how to explain it. It's a little more maybe personal, but there's not enough. I think there's just not enough activities.
Yeah.
Not you can't just, you know, I don't think there's enough. Maybe it's in this area in Scottsdale, but yeah, I think. Yeah,
no, I get it. And I think a lot, when you're dealing with the heat, that kind of creates some of that too.
Right.
So yeah, no,
I think it reminds you a lot of Vegas, which you spent so much time in. Right. So it feels monotonous.
Yes.
And so similar. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what I longed to get out of Las Vegas. Yeah. And so that is why I'm moving back to Orange County.
Yeah.
Ultimately, at the end of the day, that's where my heart is. That's what I prefer, and I just want to be.
That makes sense. It's funny because like I have this conversation with so many people who are moving here, and we get people not only moving from California but across the country, and there's so many reasons that people are trying to get away from where they're currently at. And if you had an experience in Vegas that was similar to here, you know, like me, I've been out here since 93 now, and I can't stand the summers, and I try to think of any reason to get out of here when I can. But everybody who's coming in doesn't care. They're like, hey, I'm dealing with worse. I'm dealing with humidity. I'm dealing with bitter winters, that type of thing. So it really is a matter of perspective. All right, so as we were talking, we had a few more groups come in. So I'm gonna let the girls do their thing. I wanted to pass this point along to you guys again. It's hot out right now, but that is not stopping a lot of the interest in what's going on here in the real estate market. There's been a lot of people waiting on the sidelines over the past year that thought, hey, I'm gonna cash out now, and then I'm gonna wait for the market to kind of come down. It started coming down during the summer last year, and then we got to the end of December, early part of the January, and then it started creeping back up again. All of that is due to interest rates. It's due to inventory. So we are in this market right now where people are tired of waiting and they're getting back in, and we're not seeing any more loosening up of inventory. So that's what's causing the prices to continue to either stay stable or, and sometimes in some situations, keep increasing. So we're gonna keep an eye on that. We're gonna keep monitoring that for you guys. If you have any questions, we're here to help. Reach out to us, or we're here to help you when it comes to finding the best places and neighborhoods. So if you have any questions, give us a call, send us a text, shoot us an email, however you wanna get a hold of us. We got your back. And until the next video, we'll catch you later.